Hey there, groovy cats and chicks. Welcome once again to the Rock Savage channel, home of the Savage Film Group, the official channel of the Savage Film Group. And today I want to talk to you about something cool with what happened after the genesis of the Savage Film Group. As remember, in the episode of the genesis of the Savage Film Group, I explained our first short film, Perversions, and what happened and all that cool stuff and how it ended up in the compilations we have. But now I want to talk to you about our first two feature films. There was some space in between them because we had some missteps, as always you do. Anyway, we at the college that we went to school at, we got permission to film our first movie. An original title was called Zombies on Campus. We later changed the title to A Taste of Flesh because that sounded a lot cooler, we thought. And in this film, I introduce a character played by me called Harry. His name is Harry Gross. He's a private eye. He's actually a licensed private eye, but he's an occult investigator. Now, they don't give out licenses for occult investigators, so you have to have a PI license. And he actually goes looking for trouble. You know, people hire him to investigate strange and weird things that are going on. And how this came about was when we were thinking of a movie to produce, I wanted to have a protagonist that was clearly the hero, the action hero, because I felt that all these movies that were coming out at the time, back when we made this we made this in around 1981, and we released it in 82. And I was really tired of all these slasher films where all you had were victims running away from killers with knives. And in some movies, the killers were supernatural and you couldn't stop them, and nobody knew how to stop them because nobody had any brains. And I was like, this is bullshit. Something had to be done. So I came up with a character who was ultra cool, sure of himself, and not like some of these characters they got now in movies that they're full of angst. No, Harry had no angst. He knew he could get the job done, and he was cocky and sure of himself. Basically, he was an extreme version of me. So really, I wasn't really acting too much. I was playing an extreme version of myself. And people say, yeah, you play that part real well. I'm not really acting, just... It's okay, though. A lot of actors don't act. They play themselves, and they do it very well. Good example is, for the most part, William Shatner plays himself, John Wayne plays himself, Bruce Lee plays himself, and for the most part, Clint Eastwood plays himself. Really, he does. But they do it so well, we don't care. And I'm knocking down my microphone. That's so silly. Because I'm getting excited talking about this movie. Because it is an exciting movie, and we were very excited when we made it. And we decided we were going to do the best job we could. And there's a lot of great stories about how some of the makeup was done. We did something very innovative with makeup. We found a very quick and cheap way to create zombie makeup. As you can see here on the cover here, that was shown that we had a close-up of before the show started. I bet you were wondering why are we seeing the box cover of this? Because I am going to shamelessly self-promote this, because that's what we do here at the Savage Film Group. That's the American way. But I'm going to tell you about the very innovative thing that we did with this movie. Was we needed to do quick makeup because we would film after class. So we were there. We would go take our classes during the day, and in the evening we stayed late making the movie on campus. And we scared some people with the zombies running around too, and some of it we did on purpose because we're just so damn naughty. But anyway, one of the things that was really interesting, and Frank Vassallo, who played the villain, Dr. Morbid, and yes, we actually had a villain who used black magic to raise the dead and the occult science. And why he did this, I don't want to reveal too much of the plot because I really want you guys to buy the DVD and see for yourself what a great film this is. We had an extreme low budget, and we did a lot with it. So anyway, the villain, Dr. Morbid, raises the dead using black magic and virgin's blood, because we all know, that way you make him even more villainous. He has to sacrifice a virgin and get her blood so he can raise the dead. And of course, Harry Gross gets involved when one of the students, this girl, her roommate, she witnesses being eaten by zombies, and the dean is such a bitch, she won't believe her. So, anyway, my Frank Vassallo, who became a really good friend of mine right after we made this movie, he thought of a great way of doing the makeup. I didn't think it was a good idea at the time, and I was wrong, which is very rare for me to be wrong about anything. But his idea was to use this clay that they used in his art class to make ceramics and put it on the actors who were going to be zombies. We would also dirty up their hair, put the clay in their hair, and make it look gray. It would give them this gray look and lumpy, and we would put lumps on it too, and they would look like, they really made them look like rotten corpses. And I said, well, how did you know, Frank, that this would work so good? You know, how do you know if this is going to come out? And he says, oh, well, he told a big lie. He told everybody that he used to work in a morgue. And he told this lie so convincingly. He was such a great storyteller. And he still is a great storyteller. That everybody believed him. I believed him. And I was like, wow, really? You worked in a morgue? He says, oh, yeah. You still work there? He goes, no, not anymore. It got depressing. And then Frank didn't know me too well, and I said something that disturbed him. I said, do you know anybody that still works there? Do you think we could borrow some body parts like arms or legs? We could give them back so we could use in the movie, and they would look real realistic because they would be real. And Frank's eyes got real big, and he's like, Rock, you know, that was all bullshit I told you. Really? You didn't work in a morgue? No, man, no. But you described in such detail. No, man, I'm good at that. No, I didn't work in a morgue. So, but that was okay because the makeup looked great. As you can see, you saw one of the zombies there on A Taste of Flesh. And the first Harry Gross film, we finished it successfully. And then we showed it at the theater twice at the college theater, and it went over well with people. They loved it. That's why we had a second showing of it. Unfortunately, I went back to studying full time because my classes were starting to suffer, and the film club fell into the hands of some idiots, and they didn't do anything with it with the film club after we did that great movie. So we're going to fast forward. We had a few missteps. I tried to do a horror anthology and shoot it in 16 millimeter. It turned out to be a piece of crap because the camera we had just had all sorts of problems. We couldn't afford an expensive 16 millimeter camera. Had this Korean camera that was self-winding, and it was used in the Korean War. And while it could get sort of decent pictures, sometimes they would be overexposed, underexposed, really not good for filmmaking. So anyway, what happened after that? Well, fast forward, 1986. We went from 1981, 82 to 86. I said, we're going to shoot in Super 8 again. We're going to shoot, because it comes out good, we're going to shoot and make a movie, shoot on film, go directly to video. And everybody's like, that's a great idea, because at that time, that's what was happening. Some movies were going directly to video in the independent market because the drive-in movie theaters were dying, and home video was taking over. So home video was the new drive-in. So I wanted our films to look like a real movie, and at the time, videotape looked terrible. Made it look like a soap opera look. It's not like the digital age where digital looks like film and has nice depth of field, and it looks like brand new film all the time. It looks pretty good. So everybody agreed that was a good idea, and I said, we're bringing back Harry Gross. We need another Harry Gross film. And we were successful with Harry Gross. We tried something different. It didn't work. Harry Gross is back. I gave Harry Gross a partner. He teamed up with a CIA agent named Rex Jones, played by my friend Eric Koger, who did a lot of our stunts in A Taste of Flesh. And he's like, becomes Harry. Harry and him team up to find this evil pharaoh who's been slaughtering nubile young virgins. Yes, there's that theme again. And it worked right good the first time, to raise a mummy to please the evil Babylonian goddess Ishtar. And why he does this, of course, is he gets Ishtar there because Ishtar is keeping him immortal. He's actually very, very ancient. So it keeps him and his minions immortal, and Harry and Rex have to track him down and destroy him and his mummy. And it's really a cool movie, and we even got a rock video for it. If you want to see scenes from Mummy A Gore Gore, you can go to look at our channel, go to our video. It says Mummy A Gore Gore rock video. It has a great song called King Pharaoh. The song is great and the video's fantastic. It's got the whole cast in it, and you get to see clips and scenes from the movie. So this was the second Harry Gross film, and it was terrific. And you know, like I said, Harry Gross, like I said, created him because I was very annoyed by the mad slasher movies where all you had was victims, and you didn't have anybody to stand up to the monsters or the bad guys. And I remember in the 70s watching a show, some of you may remember it, some of our older fans out there, older viewers, called Kolchak, the Night Stalker. And Kolchak was an investigative reporter. And every week he would run into monsters or creatures or something supernatural. Now, I really loved the show, but it struck me, it's like, this poor guy can't take a piss without running into a monster. I mean, he goes on a cruise just to do a human interest story because it's the last voyage of this cruise ship that's really old. And there's a werewolf on board. Really? Really? That's why I made Harry Gross a private eye, an occult investigator. He looks for this sort of trouble. It doesn't find him. He gets hired and he runs straight into it because that's the kind of guy he is. And since most private eyes of the classic era carried Colt 45 automatics, Harry Gross should carry a Colt 45 automatic too. And so there you go. There you have it. The great double feature right now. We put these two films together on one DVD. It's got 2 discs. One has both movies on it. The second one has lots of extras, including interviews with the cast. Interview with Dave Friedman, Herschel Gordon Lewis's partner on the first 3 movies, Blood Feast, 2000 Maniacs, Color Me Blood Red, and Dave Friedman made countless of movies and produced Elsa, She-Wolf of the SS, produced The Erotic Adventures of Zorro. And we have comments there. Dave Friedman became a fan of Mummy A Gore Gore, and he talks about how much he liked it, that he said the audacity of it all. He said how we just did it off the cuff with little or no money and pulled off a great movie. And I'm really proud of these 2 movies, and you can get them at www.savagefilmgroup.com. Click on the link below. Like I said, you're getting a great deal when you get this. This, you know, when, like I said, you know, this proves that the Savage Film Group was reinventing cool. So, anyway, please check out this movie. I think you'll like it, you know, and remember, political correctness is a disease, and the Savage Film Group is the cure. And you can help fund the cure by getting one of these great movies. Anyway, I'm Rock Savage, and you should know that by now. And I'm going to be signing off, and I'll see you in the next video. Thought I was through with you. Nope. No way. I'm not through yet. I want to show you some of our great merchandise here. The Savage Film Group official Mummy A Gore Gore t-shirt. Well, actually, not a t-shirt. This is a sweatshirt. But guess what? You can get it as a t-shirt. And you can get it in styles for gentlemen and ladies. And that's the front design. The back design has got our logo on it with our website, www.savagefilmgroup.com. It's our gun logo, which is very politically incorrect and will offend a lot of social wankers. So you can join the new rebel movement because we're part of it. We were part of it before there was a rebel movement. So there you go. So when you go to our website, if you want the Mummy A Gore Gore Taste of Flesh double feature, click on double feature. If you wish to buy merchandise like that great sweatshirt, click on store. Okay, and now I'm sorry, I'm going to have to leave you. This is truly the end, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you buy our movies, I'll see you at the movies. Catch you later. Catch you on the flip side.